I'm here in Florida with my Aunt Kim, and she's been living here for a few years now, and she realized, oh, I've never cleaned or oiled my gun since I've lived here. So we decided I'm going to help set her up for success. So when she goes out and shoots, it just has her gun at home. It's going to be nice and clean and oiled and all ready for her. I'm going to teach her kind of how to do it and the best spots to oil on your gun. But I was also worried about rust because she's from Utah. She bought the gun in Utah, and then later she moved to Florida. So I'm worried about if there's rust on it. So we're here at Walmart because you can find hobbies literally anywhere, including Walmart. So we stopped by Walmart to pick up her a Hoppe's kit and some bore cleaner in order to get her best bang for the buck and set her up for the best success possible. As you can see here, Hoppe's carries quite a few different options here at Walmart. You got the traditional bore cleaners, number 9, just iconic, and then you got some of the gun medic stuff as well, which I really like when I'm on the go traveling. And then we have the kits kind of on the bottom there that you can pick from.
Oh.
I think I want to get her the high performance kit. This is the one I want to get her, the gun kit on the go, so when she does decide to go out to the range and actually practice and everything, she can just grab this kit. It's all in one. Get her some gun oil, it has patches, has so many different tools in it she can use, but she can also keep it all kitted up at home for her to use as well. And then I'm just going to grab her a traditional Hoppe's number 9 gun bore cleaner.
61.
In order to get that rust off. I didn't look at the gun before I left to go to Walmart, but I'm positive we're going to find a little bit of rust, and this is going to help to get that right off. Alright, so we made it home with our Hoppe's kit, and Kim brought out both of her guns, so we're going to field strip them down, clean them, use the bore cleaner in order to get the rust off and everything, and then give them a nice gun oil coat from Hoppe's. But first things first is we're going to double check that they're unloaded. So we got 2 guns here, little polymers. So ready? Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth. Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth. I'm going to double check with Kim.
Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth.
Yep. All right. And the second one, same thing. Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth, nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth.
Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth. Nothing to feed it, nothing in its mouth.
All right, so now we can start taking them apart. So, nope, we gotta keep it locked back. We're gonna take the slides off. A little bit of strength, okay? All right, so there's one. Okay. 2. All right, so we're going to keep the parts separate so we don't accidentally mix them up because they're different. But we're going to take the rod out and the recoil spring. There we go. Okay, now we can take out the barrel. Is that, and oh my gosh, it's so dry. It's not super gunky, which is good, but it is very dry. This one is not as dry as the other one, but it's pretty dry. Okay.
Been at least 5 years since it.
Oh my gosh, 5 years? It's so long. Alright, let's break this kit open. Pop goes the weasel. There we go. Alright. That up. So, there's a cleaning pad. It gives you step-by-step stuff. Here's all the accessories in the kit. Then you have these that you can put into your like gun bag and stuff that you can easily, instead of just bringing the whole kit, you can easily just pop one of these in your gun bag, so when you go out to the range you can re-oil it there, because we want to oil the gun every time we shoot. Okay, so in this kit we have the gun cleaner and the gun oil, and then we of course bought the bore cleaner alongside it. So we're going to open up this kit now. Oh, my fingers! There we go. So, get these out. So these is how we're going to clean the barrel, is with those rods, because we can connect them and clean long barrels like rifles and shotguns and stuff with those, or we can keep them nice and short for our little handguns. Then we have a brush. These brushes are so nice to just scrub the crap out of your guns, which I go through a lot of these. You can wash them and stuff, but I go through a lot of these because I let my guns get super gunky and super gross. So I immediately turn these black whenever I use them. Okay. To the side. Then we have, let's see, what do we got? There's a bunch of different calibers in here, but you have a 40 and a 45, so we gotta find those. Okay, so that is for a 45 ACP barrel. And where's the 40? There's a 38. It's a 30. There you go. I think a 38 will work. There we go. So we can put the rest of those to the side. We can open up our pads. Okay, there we go. Now we got our pads.
It's that metal thing, and there's a metal thing in that other.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. So, let's see. No. Yes. Nope, not that one. Where'd it go? There we go. We're looking for the small one. There we go. So, since we're cleaning very small barrels, we're going to take the little one and connect it to the big rod. That way we can get a nice purchase on the handle. It's a good handle to have. Slide that into place. And then, which one's the 40? That one's the 45. Okay, so we'll connect the 45 first. See how I'm just spinning them down. There we go. We don't need that. Put that to the side. There we go. So this is how we're going to really clean that barrel, get all the rust and stuff out, and then we'll take a swab, connect it through one of these, swab it nice and easy, put some bore cleaner in it, and then we'll swab it again to get the bore cleaner out, and that'll be good to go. So we can start with the barrel since we kind of already got that out. This is the itty bitty 45 ACP barrel she's got, her gun. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to wipe off the outside. The outside definitely needs to be scrubbed, but I want to scrub the inside first. That's just a personal preference thing. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so see how I get a nice purchase on the handle? I just run it through. Woohoo! Oh my gosh! I don't know if you've seen that, but whoa, the dust that came out of that! So we definitely want to make sure we're doing it. And then I like to flip it over and do it through the other end as well to make sure we get all in those grooves. Okay, and then we can take it up to the light, see how it shines, see if we need to do a little bit more. We can be more aggressive with this if we want. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a cloth and I'm going to fold it, run it through one side. Okay, pull that through. There we go. Now we got that. Okay. Now I can throw this onto another rod. And this one we could absolutely connect to the handle, but I'm lazy and I don't feel like it. So through, just get the rest of the dust that we loosened up out of there.
I was going to say, it doesn't seem like there's as much resistance.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, not as much resistance. We're just lightly pulling the dust out that we loosened up with the copper. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we can take that out, set that to the side. We're going to come in here, open up this brand new bottle. Oh, I don't have any nails. Okay, I'm going to cheat.
Pretty precise with that knife.
Yes, I use it all the time. And there's the iconic Hoppe's number 9 boar cleaner smell.
I was gonna say I recognize the smell.
I recognize it. It just like brings me back to my childhood when Dad would clean his guns and everything. It's so iconic. I love it. Okay, just gonna give it a nice slight dip. Oops, spray a little bit. Okay, you can dunk it if you want, but we don't need to just absolutely dunk the crap out of it because we're just gonna slide it in. Get it all.
And this is the cleaner?
This is the boar cleaner. Yep. Hoppe's number 9. Okay, so we're going to clean that out. Put that through. Very nice. Just see how I'm doing that. Just give it a nice coat, pushing slightly, but not a lot, because I don't want the metal on metal to hurt the barrel. But do you see how clean that is now? On the inside? It's just shiny. And there's a little bit, it's hard to see, but there's a little bit of brown, a little bit black on there. So it's good to get all that out of the barrel. Take that off. And now I'm going to run a clean cloth down it to get the remnants of the boar cleaner. Other side. There we go. It's like it's brand new now.
So there wasn't any rust? Just
I don't see any rust in here. It could have been dirt, could have been dust, whatever, for being unused for so long. But you see all the gosh, what are they called? I just said it earlier too. Do you see all the lines in the barrel and stuff? That's what we were trying to clean out, and everything. And especially when I shoved that in there and that puff of dust, we're just trying to get that cleaned out. But I cannot see any rust in there. But in case there was, boar cleaner helps get that out.
This cleaner.
Yes.
Yep.
Helps get it all out. Clean it up. Make it look nice and shiny again. Cleans out the grooves. It's called the grooves in the barrel. So that is good now. And I'm going to do the other gun and do the exact same thing to it. So we're going to put this down in there. All right, that one I did not see a puff. So that's good.
I see a puff.
There's a puff?
When you pulled it back, or last time it shot out this way, then that time it shot out the other way.
Okay. Well, I guess there's a puff.
If I'm being honest, I don't know if they've ever been cleaned.
That's okay. Cleaning is...
Thank you for teaching me how to clean my guns.
No, it's fine. I enjoy doing this. Well, I don't enjoy super cleaning guns. But I enjoy teaching others how to do it. Because it is an important part of being a firearms owner. I mean, guns don't require a ton of upkeep. But just a little bit, you know. It's not like a dog that you gotta like feed and water every day. But they can definitely be more expensive.
I was invited to go shooting at an indoor range last weekend, but I have to be honest, I was a little leery because I haven't shot any rounds out of these for a bit. So now that they've been cleaned, I can definitely be more comfortable going to shoot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
There we go. Oh yeah, see? There we go.
Even more so than the other one.
Yep. Yes. That out, set it to the side, grab a new one. All right, does that look clean to you?
It does.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So that one's good to go now. Now we can take the springs and the rods and stuff apart and start wiping it down. We're going to use the gun cleaner for this one, and it's a little spray, which is nice because you can spray these little pads, you can spray your rag, whatever. It's very convenient to use. So I want to do the barrel first. So come in here, and this is a pad that comes with it. You see how my towel laid down? This comes with one that you can lay your stuff down on.
Got it.
There we go. Actually, since we have two guns here and they're identical, why don't you clean one with me as I clean the other one? That way you can do it and learn as you go. Yep, so we're just gonna go around the barrel. Yep, try and get all the nooks and crannies because that's where unburnt powder likes to hang out, and dirt and dust and gunk. Okay. See the shiny feed ramp? We definitely want to clean that. That's called the feed ramp. And then we have the notches right there where it sits in the barrel and connects to the slide. So, I mean, not barrel, it sits in the slide, so we want to get in there as well. Okay, and then we have the crevice right there we want to get into. I like to like fold mine over and like pinch and slide. Pinch and slide. That way it gets super deep in there. Cleaned out. Okay, now we can take our rag, wipe it down. Once we're done, there we go. Okay, there we go. So now I can use that. Set that to the side. I'll take that one. So that's clean, so I'm going to set it in a different area so I don't mix the clean parts and the dirty parts, although it's pretty easy to tell what is clean and what is dirty. Alright, now we're going to clean the guide rod and the spring. So, here we go. What we're going to do is we're just going to spray this gun cleaner directly on it. So instead of like spraying out, we're going to spray down into our work area here so it doesn't get on the table and everything. So we're just going to spray it. Be somewhat generous because I can feel it being a little bit gunky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yep. That looks good to me. Alright, so now we can take our rags and we're just going to like rotate around to try and work that in and clean out the gunk because I see black already. Okay, so we want to make sure we're getting the head, getting inside that spring, and the rod, and the plug, and the outside, just everything in there. So you can also like work your fingers in between the springs themselves. Okay, now it feels a lot less gunky. And it looks way shinier, way nicer. It's going to definitely function better the way it's supposed to function. Okay, so we're going to set that to the side now. Okay. Now we're going to go into our slides. So, the easiest way I can see about doing this is, again, spraying directly into it. So I'm going to spray this part here, and then I'm going to come in and the top of the slide right there, and then we definitely want to make sure that we clean out the rails as well because the rails sit on top of the frame itself, so they're constantly rubbing against the frame and the slide itself and everything. So that's what gets worked a ton in the guns. We want to make sure we clean that and especially oil those. So we're going to come in. I'm doing that. And then I get top. There we go. Side. See how I sprayed directly into those rails. Okay. Same with the other side. There we go. Now you do it. Good. Other side.
That looks good. Okay, now we can take our rags or these pads in order to get inside those. What I like to do is take my rag, get most of it off, and then go in and be more precise with the pads themselves. Okay. If there's a particular area that's like super gunky or is having a hard time coming off, that's when we bring in the big gun.
So what's the potential, I guess, why is it so necessary to keep it clean? Like, is it going to malfunction?
It can malfunction and stuff, and the parts in your gun are going to break down a lot faster if you don't keep it clean and then you keep shooting it or not having oil in it. Malfunctions, wearing parts out, etc. That's basically what's going to happen. The parts wear out because you have metal on metal with nothing in between it, rubbing against each other constantly when you're shooting. So it's a tool, it's a mechanical device, so we gotta have something, a thin layer of something, and not water, because water is just going to make it worse and erode it worse, which is why, since we're on the East Coast and we have high amounts of humidity, we gotta keep it oiled in order to not let it rust, because then rust builds up, malfunctions, parts wearing out, etc. That happens. So that's why keeping it clean, keeping a thin layer of oil on it is going to make your parts and your gun last longer, because now you have something to put in between for the friction. So it's not metal on metal breaking down.
So, thank you, that makes sense. So if I don't shoot very often, should I still check it for oil?
Yes. Yes. Oiling your gun once a month if you're not shooting. Once a month, that's a good habit to have. Like, put it on your phone calendar for, one day each month and set it for like ever. Basically, today's the day I oil my gun,
Yep.
And since you have two guns, just do them back to back.
Got it.
I'm going to take the brush. So you don't have to clean the gun every time you oil it at all. But I'm going to show you, once we're done putting the gun back together, where you can put oil and stuff to make the gun last longer and make it run smoothly whenever you decide to pick it up and shoot it.
Excellent, thanks.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take my brush here, scrub a little bit, because I see a little bit left in there. Okay. There we go. Put off. And then where the firing pin comes out and stuff, I'm going to scrub right there. And then this is the extractor. So we definitely want to get in there and clean that, because, remnants of brass and stuff stay on it. A lot of unburnt powder likes to hang out there. So we're going to make sure we scrub that as well. Okay. Right. Go ahead. Your turn. And if you feel like the big part's too big, you can switch to the small part too. There you go.
I'm a good student.
You're a very good student. Okay. Awesome. Now we're going to take our cloth. Now you can see, well, I don't know if y'all can see, but there's a little bit of grease and stuff.
Mine was dirtier than yours.
So now we can go in with our baby cloth and go ahead and use our fingers to and fingernails. So what we're going to do is basically pull it over and pinch it so that our fingernail is going to be used as a precise device to get into the cracks. So we'll just wipe everything down again, especially the rails of the gun. Doing that, see?
Wow. So How often does the gun need to be cleaned? That's like...
That's honestly, it's mainly a personal preference thing.
Okay.
So for me, I shoot so much that and I constantly keep oil in my gun. I oil before and after every practice. So my gun is always coated in oil. Even if it gets gunky, there's a ton of oil in it, and it makes it easier to wipe down the gun and clean the gun when there's a lot of oil in it, because it's not sticking to the metal itself, it's sticking to the oil. The oil, again, makes that wonderful layer on the gun to stop the metal on metal, but it also helps capture the unburnt powder and the dirt and the grease and all of that. So you can clean it after every time you shoot if you want, or you can keep a good base of oil on it. For me, I probably am like 1,000. I would say after 1,000 rounds for you to clean it. For me, I'm like 5,000 rounds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I keep it oiled in between shooting and stuff,
yes,
you know,
you can go much longer without cleaning the gun.
Got it.
Yes, my guns are always dirty and always have a ton of oil in them. It's kind of what I'm good at.
Good. For
me, I like to test the limits of my gear to see how long they can go without being cleaned. So that's what I do. I do tests with gear. Okay. I'm going to call that good enough because everything looks kind of shiny now, which is good. So we can put that to the side.
Do you want to check mine?
Yes.
Please.
It's very clean. All right, you get a gold star. Woo! I should keep like gold star stickers. No, blue star stickers. You put it on your shirt.
Yes.
Okay. Now we can. Oh, now we're done with the slide. Now we can clean the frame. Again, it's going to be the same process. We're going to spray directly on it. As you see, there's a lot of parts in here, so we're going to definitely use our brush. And we can even, you see how there's like deeper areas and stuff? We can even put a cloth in our metal pole here and get into the deeper areas.
Okay.
So, rails, ramps, and stuff, we're going to clean that. And these rails as well. So we're going to put a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit kind of like in the trigger area. Not a ton. There we go. There's a light spray. And then the back mechanism there, we're going to spray inside. Oops, missed. There we go. So I shoot guns, it's much easier. And then on the top as well. So this is the ignition area. Yep. There you go.
Yeah?
One more down there. Yep, got it. Okay, now again, we're going to go through with our towels, wipe basically everything off, and then we can be way more precise when we go in with our little tools and our pads. Crevices right there. We're going to get in there with our cloth. So see how I use the end of the stick here. Mm-hmm. And then I like fold over the cloth, and then I can get it into the crevices. That way I'm not putting metal on metal. I'm using the cloth, but I can get into harder to reach places and stuff that I can't with my fingers, my nails, etc.
I think mine's good too.
Okay.
Please.
That looks good to me.
Wonderful.
All right. Okay. Side. Okay. All right. Sorry. CADHD. Okay, so now we can go in with our gun oil. This is our gun oil we'll be using. So put the cap back on the cleaner, set to the side. Ha ha ha! Almost over the table. And then we're gonna pull that up. And see how that precise that tip is? That's gonna make it really nice when we're getting into the harder to reach places on our gun. But basically, when we're cleaning our gun and then adding oil, we want to get the oil within the rails, put obviously a thin coat on basically everything. But since this is black, the places where you can see silver, that's where the gun meets other points of the gun and rubs. So we definitely need to get oil on those specific spots. So any place we see a tiny bit of silver, we're dumping oil on it. So you can put on the cloth if you want and do a thin spread. Me, I like to go right in because Hoppe's makes these really tiny tips that make it super easy to coat everything in that thin layer. So I'm going to get the silver first here. There you go. See? And then a couple droplets there. See a little bit of silver there. And then in the extractor, firing pin slot, obviously. Okay. And now we're going to go into the rails. So the rails have 3 different parts. So the rails have the inside of the rails, where you got the hooks on the outside, and you can kind of run your finger inside the rails themselves. Then you have the top of the gun, not top of the gun, but top of the rails, and then you have the side of the rail. So we want to get all 3 of those. When we clean our guns and start to put it back together, that's where we want to put our oil. So put it there, run it down, and then I'm going to get the side right there. See, I'm running the tip along the side, the rails, and then the top there. And then you want to do that to both sides. Okay, I'm going to do opposite now. I'm going to do top. Okay, I'm going to do the side. And now I'm going to do the inside. There we go. And that along. Okay. I want to get just a touch in that firing pin kind of area slot. I'm going to rub it around right there. Obviously, the inside sides of the guns. And that one you just need a very thin, light amount of oil. But you see where the silver is right there? That's where the barrel rubs. So we want to get a good amount right there. And you can use cloths. I'm not weird, but me, I just think it's easier. Just use your finger and coat everything. It's just saves time, energy, cloths. Okay. So you see how everything now has a very thin coat of, or in the silver areas, it has a thicker coat on them. But now you do it to your slide.
Okay. So we start with the metal. And then we're going to do the rails.
Yep, 3 parts of the rails.
Yep. I'm going to start at the top. And the side. And then actually in the rail.
Yes, there we go. Good.
A little bit on the trigger.
Oh, that's the firing pin spot.
Firing pin?
Yep, the trigger is inside of the frame, actually.
You're right. My wrong terminology.
Okay. So there's a couple dry spots in there. So you see how there's specific areas with oil. We still want to get oil in the areas that don't get rubbed a lot. So we're just going to put a couple drops in there, and it will naturally slide up and down and lubricate itself. Oops, there goes our logo. That's fine. Okay, so the slide is done. Now we can go ahead and oil the frame. The frame has its own parts of the rails as well, so we want to get a little bit there. So you see these itty bitty baby rails? Yes, we want to get the top and slightly to the side of that. There you go. And if you just run the tip along the top, it's going to naturally go to the bottom as well. And then we have the inside, the side right there, and then the top, of course. Okay, same thing with the other side. The top, the side, and then the inside. And then we have the feed ramp. We don't need to add a lot of oil to the feed ramp, just a light coat right there, because we don't want to gum up too much when the bullets hit the beginning of the feed ramp from the magazine. And then we have that part there, slightly there, just a touch where the magazine sits, the front of the magazine sits. I mean, just a barely little bit. Okay, and then we have the back mechanisms with the ejector. This is the ejector. So you see how the ejector is silver? That's where it runs against the slide and the magazine. So we're going to get a good amount right there. Just a little bit there. And then it has the back rails. So we're going to get side, the inside, and the top. The top, and the side, and the inside. Okay? Then you can just evenly spread it from there. So now you do it. Oh, I'm just going to get a little bit in the front. There we go. I can slot that with my finger. Go ahead.
Down in here, right?
Just a little bit. Doesn't need a lot.
And it's in here?
Yep. Just a little bit. Because that's going to go into the trigger.
Down into here?
Slightly, because that goes into the trigger. Yep.
And in here as well?
Yep. Just a couple drops. Good. All right. Okay.
Want to check it?
Yep. Please. Don't see enough on the trigger. So you see that spring? Is that spring in there? Yep. We're just going to put a drop right there.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. That looks good to me now. All right, now we can go ahead and oil the barrel and the recoil spring and the guide rod. So the guide rod, the plug, the recoil spring, it's all in this one mechanism here for this specific gun. So we're going to see how much silver is on the top. We're going to get a good amount of oil right there. Then we're going to slide it along the spring and make sure we rotate as we oil it. That way it gets all the way around the spring. And then we have the plug, which the spring, another spring goes on. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rotate as we oil. Make sure it gets into every section because there's quite a bit of silver on it. There we go. And then the back. Yep, there we go. Good.
So funny. This is messy.
Oh yes, it's a very messy process. You can wash your hands after you're done. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we're going to do the barrel, and we're not going to do the inside of the barrel. We're just going to do the outside. Do you see how much silver is along the barrel?
Yeah.
We're going to make sure we get it good. Okay, so I normally just, for the barrel, I just dump a bunch in one spot, and then I move it around with my hands. Then I come in here, make sure I hit the silver spot, spread it around. Baby amount on the feed ramp. I mean, just a touch. Like my finger barely brushes over it. Okay, there we go.
And that's here?
Yes, that's the feed ramp, so just barely. Yep, there you go. Okay. There we go. Yep, get a little bit on those notches. You don't need a lot on those notches because we don't need it to slide down the barrel. The barrel doesn't need oil. You can add a little bit of oil to your barrel if you want. What I recommend is, taking your patch, folding it over, and you can slide that patch in and give it a couple of droplets of oil. Again, like your barrel doesn't need a lot of oil. Your barrel doesn't need oil at all, but if you feel the need to, you can go ahead and do that. Give it a little bit of a shine. Some people says it affects velocity. I don't know. I haven't noticed that. But it's one of the protection things if for your barrel if you want to do. I've just never felt the need to do it because I'm me. Okay, there we go. All right, that's good. So now we can wipe our hands down for a second. And as you can see, the oil's spilling all over our guns, which is good because it means they're properly oiled. And we can wipe the guns after we're done putting them all together and making them nice and shiny and not so oily. But we're going to take our slides now. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is put our barrels back in. Now we're reassembling. So the end of the barrel, which is that round part. Yep. We're going to place it in the lowest notch slot right there. See that circle opening? That's where we're going to place it in. Okay, drop it in and then pull it back until it almost like slides back into place. Yeah, did you feel that click?
Must.
Okay, I'm just going to double check. Yep. Okay, that's in the proper place. Now we can go in with our recoil spring and our plugs and all of that fancy stuff, and we're going to place it in that other circle spot. And this is for these specific guns. Not every gun is made equal or put together or taken apart the same. This is for her specific ones. Okay, yep. And it slides right down in that slot. That's awesome. Make sure that your notch is up.
Got it.
Okay, into place. Just gonna clip right down. Now, we're going to put on the slide itself. So we're going to make sure our slide and our rails are going onto the bottom part of the frames rails. Over the top of those. Yep. So this is the frames rails. They got to line up. There you go. Yep. Push it all the way back. Okay. And then lock it back. So this is the locking mechanism right here. You're going to pull the slide all the way back, lock it into place. So how I like to do that is go over the top from the back, nice and close to my body. Yep. Push, pull, and then slide that up with my thumb. Is your thumb hitting it? Yep. Yep. So slide. Give it a little bit of strength.
Sorry. My hands are very slimy.
Yep, push, pull. Yep, push that up, let it go. There we go, now it's into place. Now we can press that notch down, that front notch. There we go. Now go ahead and rack it. Okay, now we're going to dry fire in a safe area. So I say that way is safe. Okay, so, and go up and press the trigger. Nice. Okay, so that's how we know it works. I always like to rack the slide and give it a couple more presses, trigger presses, double check, triple check, whatever. All right, awesome. So now we can take our cloth, our towels and stuff, and we can wipe the excess oil off of the guns because now the guns are clean and they're oiled and they're ready to immediately go out and shoot. we go. Now Aunt Kim's guns are cleaned and oiled and ready for her to go, and now she has all the tools in order to do it herself because she's very self-sufficient and she's got everything she needs.
Thank you for the education.
Of course. Glad I could help.